How do we rise above ego? So it's a very interesting question, and the thing is, rising above ego is the second thing, but discerning ego is what is the most difficult part, because ego is this sense of self, this false sense of self that we acquire when we come from the copper age. So this false sense of self that we acquire on this journey is ego. But the thing is, when we come to the end, by the time we come to the end of the journey, ego is all that I am. So, we have absolutely no true sense of self. There is just this false sense of self. So, ego is my identity, ego is my personality, ego is everything. So, and the other day I was reading a quotation, it was very beautiful, that in order to meet the new you, you have to completely let the old you die. But this new you is precious. But the thing is, you see that this new you is something very new, and all that I know about myself is the complete opposite of who I really am. And I identify with that self so much that, letting go of it is quite scary. So, when you start letting go of it, then it becomes like, it is almost like you are letting go of your whole identity, whole old identity. And that is a very big process. And from my own experience, I will tell you that, when we come into Gyan, it's things are very easy. So, when you come into Gyan, so you feel that, this is wrong about me, or this is not okay about me, or this sanskar is not good. So maybe complaint, maybe anger, maybe irritation, maybe, you have the sanskar of putting down somebody, or you have the sanskar of being lazy. So there are some sanskars which you don't like about yourself, and then you start working on them and you start changing them, and it makes you very happy. And that part is easy, because that part is something which is not resonating with you. But the bigger problem arises after you have done away with that part. And then there is a part of you which is not you, but it is so ingrained in you now that you identify with it like your personality, and you don't want to let go of it. Yes, so let's say, this thing that I'm always right, and you take a lot of pride in the power of your intellect and the power of making good choices, and you think that you have this good intellect, functional intellect, which always guides you in the right way. And then that intellect is something you're very proud of. That intellect is something that you value a lot. because you think that that is what makes you you. And anybody who knows you tells you that it's very difficult to make you accept that you are wrong. So anybody who knows you, that's how they look at you. And then this being rigid or stubborn, or this is being you for you, right? Now Baba says that you don't have to go after who is right, go after what is right, right? And then you say, no, I'm only going after what is right. I'm not going after who is right, but I'm right. I can't help it. I'm right all the time. So you twist Baba's teachings, and you will say that, who is going after who is right? I am only going after what is right. And the thing is, I am right, so I am going after that. So, but the thing is, that's a part of you which is not able to make you see that whatever choices you are making is creating a lot of damage in the long run. So let's say, there's this thing where you live in a family, and then there is so the choices you're making because you think you're right is not good for your relationships in the long run. Yes, and then but you still keep making those choices, saying that I'm right and the other people are wrong. But the thing is, if you're so right, then why are you not able to function in a manner where you will be able to take everybody along? So, it's not like everybody will be happy with you, or I'm not talking about everybody being being very happy with you. I'm just talking about, why do you have to reject people because of that? Or why do people feel left behind because of that? Yes, so if you are right, and if you know how to, if you are right, then you can make things right, right? So if you can't make things right, if you can't take everybody along, so maybe everybody doesn't agree with you, maybe everybody is not happy with you because you're making some choices based on Shrimat, but at least, if you're a good person, then nobody will want to let you go. But the thing is, you see that sometimes our ego is so inflated that we don't understand the line between being right and being egoistic. So, Baba says, do the right thing, but do it with love and humility. Baba never says, don't do the right thing. Do the right thing, but do it with love and humility. It's not like Baba says you're making a right choice, so don't communicate with anybody. So, even if you're making a right choice, so just communicate with the other soul. Just tell them what is in your mind and heart. Even if they don't agree with you, that's okay. But don't discard them because you think that, this person is a fool and they will never understand. So, so these are things about us, because, we are also living in a world where our ego is making us make presumptions. Our ego is making us, reject people in our minds, and then you just keep going about, I don't know how to deal with these people because they don't get what I'm saying and I'm right. But the thing is, if you're so right, then where is the love? Where is the compassion? Where is the humility? Where is the sweetness? And if you did everything with compassion, humility, love, sweetness, then even if somebody doesn't agree with you, even if they will not walk the path you walk, they may walk distant from you, but they will not leave you. So you may be like parallel lines, but you can still walk together. So that's the kind of things that we don't want to let go, because these are some things in our personality which we hold very tightly onto. And you see that this ego self that we have developed, or maybe very deep attachments, everything is a part of ego. So very deep attachments, and there are some places where you are not attached. So, or you're very you think you're attached, but you're not attached, and you let go of that very easily. But there is somewhere, with some person you are very deeply attached, and then there is that soul sustenance coming from that person. So it's that one person is the foundation of your emotional health. And suddenly, so you and the thing is, you take it like it's okay to be attached to this person, and it is this relationship. So let's say it's a spouse, or it's a child and parent relationship, and then you think that it is normal and natural, and then most of the time it is working fine also. So most of the times the attachment is both ways. So because most of the time the attachment is both ways, it's very difficult to figure out that it is attachment. But then there are moments when your attachment is not reciprocated the same way as you want it to be reciprocated. And then you, in those moments, you come to understand, you have a glimpse of how much that upsets you. And you have a glimpse of, how much that causes a turmoil inside you. But then you think that okay, and then it suddenly fizzles out, because again the person comes back to you and they start being equally attached. But the thing is, do you understand that there's a part of you which is very, very weak? So there's a part of you which is very weak, and we need to work on it, because Baba says that you have to be free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. So we kind of, we partially become free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. But I don't know whether we totally become free from that. Because the surface level cleaning, if you clean a dish which is very dirty. So have you seen those utensils in the kitchen, especially the kadhai? It becomes very layered after a point of time, and cleaning it on the surface is very easy. So you just clean it on the surface, and then it looks clean also, and it looks like it can be used. But the thing is, there's so much dirt which looks like it has become part of the kadai. So that dirt is not dirt now, it is part of that utensil. So it's that dirt I am talking about. And that dirt is so much there in our in the soul, that it is now, it defines your personality. And then you cannot even think about yourself without that attachment, or that sense of being right, or you cannot think about yourself without that particular identity. So that becomes a very difficult thing. So let's say being authoritative, which is being authoritative, but there is no balance. So you're always authoritative, and you have taken on this persona of an angry young man, or an angry young woman, or angry old man or angry old woman, and then you live with this personality, and that is kind of your protection into, where you don't want people to invade into that part of you which you are guarding through that facade of anger. So, you come across as very angry because basically you have very less tolerance, and then you want to keep people in their place by just, by just what do you say, by just having this personality of anger, and you want people to not approach you very closely because you have very less tolerance, very less acceptance. You are not able to have sanskar milan with souls, and then you don't want to give up on this personality, you don't want to work on this because you think that it is fine, and I feel that everybody is not everybody doesn't match up to me, or I don't have to be that approachable. But Baba says that if somebody is getting a vibe from you, stay away. That's not a good vibe to send, right? So you are godly children, and if you're sending off this vibe that stay away, that's not a good vibe to exude. So these are some aspects of our, I'm giving you some very stray examples, but you have to discern within yourself that part of your ego which is not allowing you to totally follow Baba's Shrimat. So, it's not allowing you to be approachable, it's not allowing you to be accepting and loving and kind to everybody, it's not allowing you to be it's not allowing you to be akras, it is not allowing you to be in a state of equilibrium, even in the face of somebody behaving according to you or against you. So these are some aspects. And then there is this greed in our personality which we camouflage as being financially wise, or as being prudent financially, or we camouflage this greed as being economical. So there is all this greed, but the thing is, we are not able to follow Shrimat, and we are not able to use our money for Vishwa Seva, right? So that greed is stopping us from doing Vishwa Seva, but we don't understand that greed. We think that it is my personality that I use money very wisely, but that is not wise. The wise thing is to use it for Vishwa Kalyan. But the thing is, where there is ego makes you so rigid that you're not able to understand Baba's Shrimat, you're not able to appreciate Baba's Shrimat, you're not able to follow Baba's Shrimat. And this, all these things are there inside us, and then you don't want to let go of it, and you turn a blind eye to it also. So you don't want to see that side of yours also. You don't even when we listen to the Murli, we don't listen to these points. So our ego makes us very selective even in our hearing, and we don't even listen to these points where Baba is talking about adjustment. And I remember there was this Murli, and I was reading it out to one sister, and in that in that Murli, Baba was talking about having the quality of adjustment and working in a group with love. And then suddenly she said, but is it okay if somebody is very difficult and you don't want to waste your time after that? So can we just, just avoid that person? So you see that as soon as that point comes up where your actual problem lies, you will try to avoid that point by coming up with an excuse to not follow that point. And then you will also try to ask the Nimit questions which will, so just like when you ask Google certain questions, you frame it in such a manner that the answer you want will come up. So similarly, that you ask the Nimit also in such a manner that you want them to answer in a way you want to hear the answer. And then she said that, it's Baba has told us that 5% you can avoid, 95% your relationship should be good. But if one person is very difficult, then can we avoid that person? So I said, how many members are in the family? So she said, we are 2 people in the family, and I and my husband is very difficult. So I said, that makes it 100% of your relationships. It's not 95 and 5. That is 100% of your relationship. That's the only relationship that is there. So what makes you think that, that's 5% you are avoiding? So she said, but he's very difficult. So I said, okay, that's fine. He is very difficult is not the problem. The problem is you are also equally difficult. So you see, we say that this person is egoistic, right? But it is your ego which is clashing with the other person's ego. That's why you can see or hear that person's ego, right? If you have no ego, then nothing clashes, and then you are not even perceptive to the other person's ego. So, but we don't see it. And let me make it very clear, it is not possible that everybody will agree with you. It is not possible that everybody will be very happy with you. But it is possible that you get along with everybody. So, just agree to disagree. And even if, everybody is doing their own thing, there is a vibrational exchange at the thought level, at the vibration level. There is an exchange of the energy of respect and love. That is possible. If I work on myself, I may not agree with somebody. So, I may not agree to eat the same food as somebody, but I can definitely eat on the same table as somebody, right? So even if we eat our respective food, I can have respect for whatever they are eating, and I can also eat on the same table they are eating. I may remember Baba and eat, they may remember somebody else and eat, they may chat and eat, but what stops us from eating together? And even if somebody is passing comments on you, or they are not happy with your choices and they are not accepting it the way you are accepting, why does it hurt you? Because you also have that sanskar of feeling hurt and insulted. So if you win over that, then even if somebody is passing a comment on something, you understand it's just their opinion and they are welcome to their opinion. And you can be okay with it. So that's how it works. But the thing is, you see, and about attachment also, if there is attachment, you will not feel comfortable inside. So, as long as the attachment is not requited or reciprocated in the same manner, and it is very difficult for that level of, even if right now you have that, when, as every soul evolves, devolves, or whatever they do according to their purusharth, but you will not remain the same person after some time. And as you evolve or devolve, or as the other person evolves or devolves, you will be 2 different people eventually. So maybe 5 years down the line, 7 years down the line, there will be a difference between who you are and who they are. and then, getting along will be very difficult if there is attachment, because where there is attachment, there is no acceptance. Where there is attachment, there is this very rigid thing about, I like you as I want you to be, and if you are not that way, then I don't like you. And then I push you hard enough to be that person I like. But when you push somebody, you push them away. So that's how attachment actually, when there is a lot of attachment, then you push people away eventually. And suddenly, and you also become scared of yourself about how you behave because of attachment. And then you think that it's because of the other person, but it's not because of the other person, it's because of your own sanskar of attachment. And if you, instead of dealing with your sanskar of attachment, you are dealing with, pushing that person away. So you're just, you think that I have to deal with this person, but no, you have to deal with your sanskar of attachment. And these are the things. And then, greed, which is just making you spend in the wrong place or just accumulate and amass. And there's this thing about greed, greed tells you that even if your whole money is lying around just getting wasted or just remaining unused, that's a better option than using it for a good purpose. Yes, so that's greed. And I remember, there's this one brother, he has a big flat, so like some very big flat he has. And then what he does is, he has kept it locked, and then he pays a chowkidar to take care of it and clean it. And then he doesn't even allow the neighbors to park in front of that flat. So he puts boulders in front of the flat, and then he guards it. And then he's always angry that somebody tried to shift the boulder and park their car, or he's always thinking about, how people are trying to use it in many ways. And then one day, he's not into gyan or anything, he's just a neighbor. So one day I was talking to him, and then he said that, everyone is after my flat, and they keep asking me, do you want to sell it, do you want to sell it? Arey, I don't want to sell it, why are people after my life? So I said, okay, I'm not asking you to sell it or keep it or whatever, but is it not better if it was used than if it was just lying around? so so you know what he told? He said, मेरा मकान है, पड़ा रहे, जल जाए, क्या है? So he said, that's my property. Even if it keeps lying around, or even if it gets burnt in the fire, or damaged in the earthquake, why does anyone care? So I was just thinking, you see, that ego makes you so rigid that you cannot see the sense that if something is available, why not use it? So, if it's put to use, it's better. But ego makes you feel that, it is mine, so let it be damaged, but it will not be used because I like it that way. And because it is I who has decided that if it is lying around just like that, it's better than using it, then I will not listen to anybody. And then, so you see, this is how ego works. And Baba says that, again, ego works in many ways. So let's say this is one extreme example about the flat just is vacant. But let's talk about another flat which is giving you a rent of maybe 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, whatever. But if that flat is used for seva, yes, so, and even if it's not paying you rent, if it is used for seva, then how much spiritual income it will make you earn? but your ego will not make you see it, because ego will make you see the currency that you are currently getting, and ego will tell you the good wishes that you are getting. Who sees those good wishes? So who knows what is that duaon ki kamai or punya ka khata? And ego will make you say, the money that is coming is more important. So these are aspects of ego which we do not want to see, which Baba is every day trying to show to us, but we are just avoiding the mirror, or because we are blinded by ego, we cannot see. Even when we see in the mirror called the Murli, we are not able to discern what it is. So these are things. And lust is, again, lust keeps you busy. Lust is when your thoughts, your buddhi, your senses, your eyes, your ears are all busy just satiating themselves, that's lust. So, it's all about sensual pleasure. And sensual pleasure is something that, you run after. And whether it is food, whether it is the tongue, whether it is the eyes, whether it is the ears, whether it is the skin, whether it is the mind or the buddhi. So, even some people are stimulating their sensual, gratifying their sensual pleasure even through the buddhi. So, you are reading something which is just making you feel wow and great and nice, but that's just your buddhi feeling a wow moment. But what is it doing to your life? So, that is all kam vikar, that is all lust. So, it is, so look at how much we are just spending all our energies into just gratifying ourselves sensually, with our mind, with our buddhi, with our sense organs. And Baba tells us that leave this. So, even sleep is a part of kam vikar. Laziness, being lazy, sleeping more than necessary, and just enjoying sleep, just enjoying lying down. So, all this enjoying is sensual pleasure, right? So, and Baba says that if even if you feed your senses a lot, still they will remain unfed, they will feel hungry. So you cannot feed them enough to feel full. So that's how we are operating. And there's this one Mata, she shared with me something very nice. She said, when I was a teenager, we had this sofa in our house which did not have cushions. So she said we had just this sofa, and it was like a bench, and it did not have cushions. And that was something we had bought after 2 years of contemplating over it, saving for it, and we really loved it. And I felt like this is a very prized possession. And she said, from that place, now I'm in a place where I have the most comfortable safe sofa. So I don't know what is most comfortable, but she said I have paid heavily for the sofa I sit on today. But she said, the discomfort is the same, so or greater today. It's not like I'm feeling better by sitting on this sofa than I felt by sitting on that sofa. Maybe that wooden sofa was more comfortable. So you see that you run after sensual pleasure, but the hunger of your senses keeps increasing. And then the more you try to satiate it with comforts and this and that, and with feeding your vikar through the skin or through the eyes or through the ears or through intellectual stimulation or through your thoughts and imagination, whatever you're trying to do, that's not working. But we don't want to give up on it. and we are very rigid about that ego because we think that is who I am. So I think, the most important aspect of ego is knowing what ego is and discerning what aspect of ego is there in you, and then getting rid of it is very easy. The more you meditate and the more you want to get rid of it, you will get rid of it. But the thing is, if you're trying to protect it, then even God cannot make you get rid of it. Okay, Om Shanti.